meeting to order. Pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023, and as amended as of March 28, 2025, this meeting will be conducted in person and as a courtesy via remote means in accordance with applicable law. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public and board members, the meeting/hearing will not be suspended or terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast unless required by law. This meeting will be recorded by the local scene, formerly known as pac-tv. Members of the public who wish to watch the meeting may do so by visiting the Duxbury Government Access channels, which are Verizon 39 or Comcast 9. Viewers can visit the localscene.media/Duxbury for information about Duxbury programming, including streaming and watching replays on Duxbury YouTube. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next is open forum. Anything from the board?
Just say a quick congratulations to our students, teachers, and our superintendent, Klingeman. They'll be starting school this week, and I know they're all looking forward to a great year and a lot of success, and I wish them that. So good luck.
All right.
All right. I have nothing. No.
Okay. Cindy, anything for open forum?
Yeah, I just wanted to give a huge thanks to the Coastal Resiliency Task Force and the Woods Hole Group for all the work they did in trying to, their efforts in trying to putting together a couple of MVP grant applications this past spring. Unfortunately, one was for a public awareness project, one was to begin to address the Bluefish River Basin at the Harrison Street area, and unfortunately neither one of them went through. They were both turned down, but a huge amount of work went into them, and I want to thank the people involved, the Resiliency Task Force and the Woods Hole Group very much for their efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. Those are a lot of work, regardless of whether they're awarded. The same work goes into them, so
Yep.
thanks for that. Anything else, Cindy?
No, not for me.
Okay. I just have a few things to share. I had a great visit on Monday to the DiLorenzo farm. That's the town-owned farm on Summer Street. I was there to see the great progress that's been made over the last couple of years by farmers Brett Sovic and Amanda Maximchuk. A number of officials from town joined me. Kathy Cross of the Open Space Committee, Pat Loring of the Open Space Committee. She's also a director of the Wildlands Trust, which is the holder of the conservation restriction for that property. Holly Morris of the Community Preservation Committee, and Nancy and Allison from the Conservation Commission. So lots of hands involved in improving this town-owned property. You may all recall it was purchased in 2018 with CPC funds, with the expectation that over roughly a 10-year period it would be rehabilitated, and certainly the farmers are doing a terrific job. So it was great to see that in person. A couple other things. One is our former state rep, Josh Cutler. Folks may remember his dad, in connection with the Duxbury Clipper, David Cutler. He was a Marine Corps veteran, and there's going to be this Sunday a dedication of a bridge spanning Marshfield and Norwell in David Cutler's memory. Sunday the 31st at 11:30 a.m. And I did ask Josh if I could share this. He said it's open to the public. It's called the Union Street/Bridge Street, spanning the North River on the Marshfield-Norwell line, GPS to 73 Bridge Street in Norwell, and there will be a reception afterwards.
Which, by the way, is a great fishing spot.
Is that right? Okay, great. Yeah. So there's a copy of the special law that Governor Healy signed, naming the bridge in honor of Duxbury's late David Cutler. So I'd encourage folks, I know it's the Labor Day weekend, but if you've got time to come watch a dedication, please join Sunday the 31st. And then finally, there is going to be Duxbury's, I believe it's 5th Historic Preservation Day, Saturday, September 13th, all across town. There's information on the town's website. It's being put on by the local Historic District Commission. I went last year. It was very well attended. Lots of folks around town participating and opening their homes. And we have a special place here in Duxbury. I'd encourage people to take advantage of the opportunity on Saturday, September 13th. Details on the town's website.
I'll add to that, there's a special piece to that this year where they're doing boat tours, pointing out the historic homes from the water. So it's a neat twist to it. I know Ed Mayo's doing those
yes.
boat tours.
Bring
so
your rod.
I think it's going to be a calm trip. So
That's great. Thanks for reminding me about, yeah, that's right. And I think there's information on the town's website, as I said, and I think there's a link to that sign up for the boat tour. Anything from the public, open forum. This is matters not on tonight's agenda, but things you want to bring to our attention for a future meeting. Or if there are things you want to complain about, things you want to compliment, et cetera. All right, no vegetables.
Constructive
Good.
criticism,
Yeah.
not complaints.
Right, exactly, okay. So I think we've spoken long enough to make it to 6:35, which is the appointed time for our hearing on the aquaculture transfer from Peter Prime to Christopher Burns, if I may have a motion.
I move that the Select Board opens the advertised public hearing for review and approval of the aquaculture license transfer from Peter Prime to Christopher Burns. This transfer was reviewed by the Shellfish Advisory Committee at their meeting on July 29, 2025, and legal notice of this hearing was advertised in the Clipper on August 13th, 2025.
I may have a second.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. This needs to be a roll call as we have a member remote.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Cindy, aye.
Okay, great. The public hearing is open. May we hear from, I guess it would be Mr. Brennan?
Hello all, Dick Brennan, Myrtle Street, Shellfish Advisory Chair. We had a meeting, as Fernando said, the 29th. We reviewed Chris Burns' application, which he included was his 3-year plan. As you know, that the first grant is a 3-year grant. Then he has like a 3-year probation, then it goes on to a 10-year grant. He gave an extensive 3-year plan. Chris has worked at this grant for 7 years as the manager, so he's well versed and experienced in it. He also showed us his residency requirement. The vote was, there were 6 members present, 5 voted yes, and 1 is an abstention for personal reasons. So it was, for that, it was carried. So we recommend that you approve the grant to Chris Burns.
All right, any questions from the board?
No, I'd like to hear from the applicant and anybody else wants to talk about it.
Mr. Burns? Go ahead for now.
So, let me see here. Tell us why you want to work on this grant.
I've been oyster farming in Duxbury for 14 years, and it's all I've ever wanted to do. So it's just great that I can finally get out there and do it on my own.
In terms of what impacts have you seen, if any, to your oyster, how do you call it, raising and success in turning the little seeds into big sellable oysters?
Just different methods that we've tried out for over the years, and now it seems like we've got it down pretty good, and so just continue those methods and keep going with it.
All right. Thank you.
Great.
If you could just tell the public a little bit about your experience. I saw that you've lived in town here for 32 years.
Mm-hmm.
So from your birth, it sounds like, or born and raised.
Yeah.
But who have you worked for, and what kind of experience have you have?
Greg Morris. I worked for him for 8 years, or 7 years. And I was his farm manager for probably 5 of those years.
Great.
And then I started working with Peter.
Any other questions?
Cindy? Any questions?
No, I don't.
Okay, this is a public hearing. Any questions from the public, comments? All right, I don't see any hands raised on the board. I don't see anybody in the room with the hand raised, so I think we're ready for motion.
Yep. I move that the Select Board approves the transfer of license to Christopher Burns, 378 Winter Street, for agricultural lease numbers 7949-01, 794949-02, and 7949-03 for 3 years, pending all federal, state, and local reviews and approvals.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Okay, I move that the Select Board closes the advertised public hearing for the agricultural lease transfer regarding Christopher Burns.
Second.
Motion and second. Roll call.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Great. Good luck to you.
All right,
Yeah,
thank you, guys.
congratulations.
You guys don't want to stick around?
No? It's a really interesting
We're
reading.
just warming up.
Yeah.
All right, next we have a discussion pertaining response letter to Mass Housing regarding the villas at Keene Brook proposed 40B. This is a continued discussion from our last meeting, August 11th. There's some materials in our packets, and there was an additional submittal by Amy earlier today. Rainey?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As you said, in your packets, you'll find a memo from the Board of Health, another memo from the Planning Board, and another memo from, who was the third? Conservation. Thank you, Nancy. Additionally, Amy, who wasn't able to be here tonight, had asked that you consider her comments as well, which I have made paper copies for you folks, and I emailed them to you as well. So Cindy, you may be able to see those. I sent them out later this afternoon. Terrific, thank you. So they're all here for your consideration. If you'd like, I can run through her comments. Whatever you prefer. Run through all of them, whatever you'd like to do.
I mean, I've already read them, so, but
Okay.
yeah, whatever.
I think
is
they
the pleasure of
actually
the board.
deserve,
You read into the record, right?
Yeah,
to
if
be
she
read
were
in.
here, I know she would want to read them.
Okay, yeah.
And I think they're excellent.
Yeah.
I think they're right on.
Okay, so with that, these are her comments regarding 934 Temple for the town's response. For you, my friend. Make it a little easier on you.
And this is in addition to the draft letter we already have.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Yeah, so before we go, let me get into that. So you have the draft letter, and her comments are something that would be woven into that.
Yes, yeah.
Added to it, while the comments from the Conservation Commission, Planning Board, and Board of Health would be attachments there too.
Right. Yeah, and I think there's only one or two overlaps between the
Correct.
draft and Amy's comments.
And I can parse that out
Yep,
for you if you
yep.
like. So anyways, here are her comments. Number one, the application states on page 4 that the Villas at Keene Brook is a limited dividend organization formed and presumably incorporated in Alabama. Following a review of the Alabama Secretary of State's office, we could find no evidence that such an organization exists, and further, a limited dividend organization agrees to limit its profit pursuant to Massachusetts law, not Alabama's. Number 2, the development manager is listed as Rami Itani on page 5, a realtor in Easton, Mass. Mr. Itani and Mr. Cusson have been involved in a number of 40B projects, and it would be worth reviewing the outcomes of those projects. Number 3, the application acknowledges on page 9 that the site contains endangered species and wetlands, both of which should be thoroughly reviewed given the constraints imposed on site planning. The site appears to be priority habitat 814, which we understand may be eastern box turtle habitat. Number 4, and this is the one that she had wanted me to specifically point out because it's critical to the way the overall application works. The application states that the purchase price was $995,000 in May of this year, 2025. Yet, they claim the current as is market value of $3,892,000 on page 14. This raises the question of, did the land value abutting Route 3 go from $1 million to almost $4 million in 4 months? Perhaps the applicant should only be able to claim the last arm's length transaction of $1 million as the land value. That alone would reduce the density dramatically. On page 17, number 5, on page 17, the developer, Mr. Itani, is also the consultant for architectural and engineering services as well as construction management. It is not clear whether Mr. Itani has any qualifications to serve in these roles. Further, Mr. Itani is listed as the applicant for the role of developer, but distinctly not the applicant for his many other roles. excuse me, number 6, the certification statement on page 18, to be signed under the pains and penalties of perjury, is unsigned. The application submitted should not be accepted, as there is no certification as to the accuracy, and therefore a review of the information contained therein is pointless. Number 7, the responses to the sustainable development criteria on page 20 are false, misleading, or absurd. And finally, number 8, density that exceeds Duxbury's local bylaws further burdens our water resource at a time when we are restricting water usage and addressing PFAS, PFOA in our public water supply, as well as placing even greater strain on municipal services and a tax burden on all residents.
Okay. Any
Yep.
further comments?
Yep, I have one more.
Okay.
I think I've got it with me. God, I hope I brought those notes. Forgive me one second. What Amy had also wanted to point out with respect to number 4, it's critical because of the formula that's used to calculate the affordable aspect. If it wasn't, as she had pointed out, if not for the waiver, it makes the project uneconomical to the developer. So the cost of the property is a critical component here in terms of what is and what is not affordable, or what would be and what would not be affordable. So she did want me to specify that to you folks. And I did print off, if you're interested, the information on Chapter 40B sales prices and the rents, and the discussion of that formula if you'd like to look at. I only have one, but you're welcome to it.
Yep, thank you.
And if you need the original document that I was referring to for the page numbers, I have that too. But I think you have it in your packets.
We have in our packets, yeah.
I was just going to give Cindy an opportunity to
Yeah, go
comment before we comment in the room.
I appreciated Amy's comments a lot. I went through it after getting her comments, and I had a couple of questions. One has nothing to do with her comments, but I seem to recall a number of years ago, quite a few years ago maybe, that a development on this property was rejected because of sight line concerns coming over the bridge. So I don't know if that's a concern or not. I think they were talking about making the driveway, when I was there, to look at the site, even closer to the bridge than where it would be now. So that's just a question in my mind.
Cindy, do you remember what that project was called?
No.
Okay.
But do you have any recollection of it?
I would know it by name.
Yeah. How about you, Brian? I think it was more over on the planning board.
I don't. How long ago?
Oh, a long time ago, quite a while ago. But I'm just wondering about the sight lines again, so that's just to raise that, and I'll think some more about what it might have been called.
I mean, we can mention it in the letter and then basically be, previous development was not approved because of the sight lines, so that's a cause for concern. Anyway, that's a true fact, right, Cindy?
As far as my recollection, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, you might want to even just say that, sight lines are a cause of concern.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
probably easier.
Yep, okay.
The other thing, I appreciated I appreciated your comments about the acquisition cost, but you're dealing with that. And also the issue about the endangered species, I know that this whole area, because I live out here, has box turtles. And the development that just came in on Keene Street actually had to put aside and quite a large parcel for the box turtles, specifically for box turtles. So I don't know that the box turtles are going to know that, but anyhow, I think it's a real issue that really needs to look into, and something that they need to address before they really do much of anything else.
All right. Thank you, Cindy. Mike?
There's, I'll start with this, number 7 of Amy's comments. The responses to the sustainable development criteria on page 20 are false, misleading, or absurd. I think because those are conclusory statements, it would be more effective for you and Amy to flush out what she believes is false, misleading, and absurd. I mean, the comment about developers creating new construction using advanced technology to conserve natural resources compared to how the planning board and our Conservation Commission and this board have identified the exact opposite. I mean, that's an example. Things along those lines. A little bit of work to build up to that conclusion, I think is important. I'm also a little concerned about this number one. Following a review of the Alabama Secretary of State's office, we could find no evidence of such an organization exists. Is that something we can discuss with our legal counsel about whether that's a prerequisite to even apply for something like this? I mean, we wouldn't sign a permit for a one-day event liquor license, let alone let someone build a development in our community without being a legitimate organization. So I think that deserves a little bit more exploring, either factually or legally. If that makes any sense, I think that before we put that to words, maybe identifying what either regulation or law under 40B requires that before we ask them to explore it. Because that does seem concerning, if true.
I can find out.
You would think that get it right, the mass housing would kind of, I mean, you're raising a great point, right? But
mean,
they seem
Amy
to
raised
be, they seem to be, well, I don't know, they're asking us for our review. You would think that they would have already checked this out, right? So it would be interesting to see, maybe they haven't.
They might not have, only because I think we're sort of at the initial stage.
Initial stage at this, okay.
Maybe that gets flushed out later.
Maybe it gets flushed out when they themselves dig into this, as well as what we've done here, what
Yeah.
Amy's done.
It would seem surprising to me if the state was approving
Yeah.
fees for organizations that weren't incorporated in Massachusetts.
Right, yep. Exactly,
And if not incorporated anywhere, seems a really big red flag.
yep.
All right, anything further? I had thrown some comments in already in the draft letter, mostly to the issue of groundwater protection, PFAS, and the dense placement of 28 individual septic systems
Right.
in a sensitive area, particularly where we're looking to avoid
Yes.
multi-million-dollar infrastructure upgrades because of PFAS.
Yep.
All right, so what I'm hearing is Rainey will get with Amy on a couple of these points. We'll revise accordingly, and I don't know if there's any further need for it to come back to this board unless you'd like to see it again. Because I think we've already
When's it
asked for
due?
an extension.
We got the extension to the end of this month, but I can email my husband and probably have a couple more weeks.
It's pretty tricky because we can't circulate it and discuss it over email without violating open meeting laws.
Right,
So-
well, Rainey can send it out, but you can.
Yeah,
only
if you-
reply to him.
Unless it's just it's here to sign.
Right.
You know.
If it's a matter, you can always, make your motion subject to, if you will, favorable findings with regard to whatever town councils. Here's how best to do this. Because you've asked the question if it's a prerequisite that they become, that they be a Massachusetts entity. So that's sort of the one wrinkle. Adding language about sightlines is easy. Getting clarity on number 7 is easy. The Massachusetts corporation aspect is the only tricky one.
Well, our next meeting is September,
It's too late. It's September 8th.
That's not a regular meeting, but I suppose you can discuss it at the end of that meeting, after that discussion.
Or put a placeholder for it.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, can't you, the number one about the mass, law, I mean, can't you just raise that as a concern, without, making a statement of something that we know for sure?
That's true. That way you're bringing it to Mass Housing's attention.
I'd rather cite, I mean, I'd at least like to cite if there is a requirement before making that
I'll see what
statement.
I can find out.
You know, like you could raise the concern, not say
Yeah.
like it is declaratory statement.
Yeah.
But simply, you can raise that to your point, Cindy. But it would be nice to cite to something. I'm not familiar with the requirements.
All right, why don't we bring this back on the 8th? So we have a bit more opportunity to flesh these out. And then Nancy, if you'd be so kind as to let Mr. Busby know, we're going to need more time. That'd be great, okay. Anything else on this before Rainey gets working on a revised draft? Okay, great. Why don't we move on to the town manager's report?
Yep. Okay. A couple of updates for you. As you may recall, last week, the week prior, we had issued a notice to the residents and motorists that Route 3A would be temporarily shut down reduced to one lane. And I want to thank Sheila and Mark, Mass DOT, and of course the entire staff of the DPW and the Water Department, who all lent a hand in that project because they were able to get the work completed by 2 o'clock last Thursday. So they finished early and without incident. They did a terrific job, and I'm
Great.
very happy with that and proud of them for really busting it out, and they did a great job. So it's all done. That aspect is all done, so now they're just working up the driveway, so they don't need to close the road for that. But no, it was terrific. We were concerned because we originally had a very circuitous route for detours, and we wanted to get it done before the school started, because
Yep.
we didn't want impact bus traffic, and they flew, and they did it. They did a great job. One thing I wanted to mention to you, another thing, was the comprehensive plan Envision Duxbury. Matthew Hines and the planning board will be discussing the comprehensive plan and Envision Duxbury with the board. I believe the date is going to be September 29th or the 6th of October. I'm just waiting to hear back from Matt on confirming which of those 2 dates works best with the planning board, but right now I'm thinking, and so is he, that we're going to aim for the 29th of September. In between that date and now, he and I are going to be meeting to just kind of go over it, dust it off, and make sure that he understands what it is, because it's a big document, as you all remember. And, you know, coming in new as he is, just to kind of help him figure out how it all works. I mean, he understands how the spreadsheet works and everything, but what the objectives are, to see what's been done, what hasn't been done, and we'll be talking about it at a department head meeting in between now and then, so that we can have everybody up and running and ready for your discussion on what I think will be the 29th.
That's going to be a great discussion. Go ahead, Cindy.
Randy, I have a question. Chris Ryan had developed a spreadsheet of
Right.
who's responsible for what, right? That sort of.
Yes.
Yes.
Very, is it possible, I don't know if you have access to that?
I do.
Is it possible to send that out?
It is, and I will be sending it out to the board in advance of that.
Okay, thanks.
Most likely as an Excel document, because if I were to print it, I think it's about a half an inch thick.
Oh, yeah, don't print it. Yeah.
But you guys will be able to flip through it pretty easily and navigate it. So yes, that's part of
All
that.
right. All right, thank you.
Yeah, no problem. An update.
Thanks for getting that moving.
Oh, yeah.
There's been a lot of pent-up demand for seeing implementation of that plan. And we waited for a great planner that we now have on board, and I'm
Yes.
excited to see the train pulling back out of the station on this thing.
Yep.
Can I just ask one question?
Go ahead, Mike.
That September 29th, October 6th, that'll be a joint meeting jointly posted, or is that a planning board meeting that we'll have to attend
It's-
as guests, or?
It's your meeting to which they are invited.
Okay, it's the other way around.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And finally, an update on the veterans agent. As you may recall, we've been working on a MOU between the town of Duxbury and the town of Kingston for shared services for our veterans agent. I'm happy to report that we're getting closer to being able to wrap up this favorably for both of our towns. We just had a couple of questions that went out earlier today to the town of Kingston. They were very minor things for consideration that we're working through. We want to make sure that we have the correct figures for the shared costs for the full-time and the part-time positions that will be serving both of our towns. And we're verifying the hours, the office hours for each of the 2 towns, because Kingston is closed on Fridays. They've recently closed, not just to traffic, but everybody. So we want to make sure that we've got coverage for at least 2 or 3 of those days for both communities. So, excuse me, we hope to have it all wrapped up in the days ahead. So we're flying with that, too.
Great. Are there any issues that were unanticipated that you had to run into, or that you ran into as you were going through the
No,
process?
actually, and that's a good question, because we were using a model that was used by the town of Hanover. It was either Hanover and Hanson or Hanover, some of the contiguous towns. So we had a decent model to base it off of. We first ran it by KP Law, then gave it to the town of Kingston. They looked at it, they made some changes, got them back to KP Law. Everybody's very happy with the agreement, so the language is, I won't say boilerplate, but it's pretty straightforward. So there are no anomalies there. Again, it's just figuring out the dollars and cents and the hours.
So we'll have the opportunity to get Sarah back, at least in some context.
Exactly. Exactly.
Excellent. And my personal thanks to Mike Thorpe, the former Veterans agent.
Totally, yes.
Who's been back in the batter's box here for a
Pinch
number
hitting.
of months.
Yep.
Doing some great work. And I sincerely appreciate everything he's put into this and serving our veterans.
Yep.
Thank you to Mike.
Exactly, and that assistance is deeply appreciated. And finally, and Cindy, I'm sorry I don't have this to be able to hand to you, but this is the, just sort of the long-range agenda. In fact, what I'm going to do, Cindy, is I'm going to shoot a picture of it and text it to you so you'll be able to see it. Won't be the same, but hopefully it'll work.
You see it, Cindy?
Yeah, hold it up there, Mike, let her see it. No, but I'll make sure you have a real copy of it too, Cindy.
Thank you.
Yes,
Hopefully one of these days I'll make it in.
it's all right. Oh, and that's my report.
All right. Any questions of the town manager?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I'll add a couple of things. I know this is probably on your, further down on the agenda, but your meeting on the 8th will be a select board meeting to which the finance committee and the school committee are invited, and that will be held at Alden. I think it's
Okay.
room 104. What was that, Cindy? I'm sorry.
What date?
That is going to be on
May 8th
September 8th. Yeah.
or September 8th?
Yes.
Or you said May, all right.
Oh, no.
sorry.
I might have, but no, it's September 8th, and that's going to be a select board meeting, and that's where we're going to discuss exclusively the budget. We can get an update on that. And then further down the list, on the 15th, the bigger items, we'll be talking about, the biggest item on that agenda will be a discussion with the Powder Point Bridge Advisory Committee regarding a status update on that, and we will have the folks from Mass DOT here to give you an update as well.
Great.
So I'm telling you that now, and Susanna, so that it can kind of be in the paper and whatnot, so
Right. people
people know that it's coming. So if they
That's
want to
good.
come, it's a good time to come.
Time to get engaged.
Yeah,
A busy month.
yeah, and that conversation is going to be ongoing. That's not like a one and done. So there'll be a lot of discussion on that too. So that's what I have for you.
I know I just briefly discussed this with you earlier, but I think it'd be good to know as the fall approaches, just if there's opportunities for us to attend finance committee meetings as the budget season develops. I think that would be helpful.
Yep.
For our advanced planning in our lives. It's just, with all these big meetings coming up on the 8th and 15th, I'd certainly want to know if there's a finance committee meeting the next day
Right.
that's discussing a large department or something like
I'll
that.
certainly mention that to Mary, and she's working on that schedule now. So we
Great.
work on that together to try and figure out, who's going to meet where and when.
That'd be
So
great.
we'll make sure you guys have everything.
Thank you.
Yep. Cindy, I just sent that to you on.
Yeah, I just got a text from Ted Carpenter.
Okay.
This is going back to the application for King Brook.
Yeah.
That Alabama on the application is just an artifact of printing out the web form, is what he says.
What did he?
Okay,
Well,
well,
we'll deal
we'll
with
figure it
that.
out. We'll
Okay.
we'll take it after the meeting.
Just want to pass that along.
Okay, thank you, Tag.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tech.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Our Nielsen ratings are up.
Yeah. Just
100%.
a follow-up question with regards to Kingston. So the Kingston Town Hall is shut on Friday.
Yeah,
And do you know why they shut down on Friday?
I don't.
Okay. Thank you.
Mary might, but she's not here this evening, but she'll be able to answer that at
Okay.
some point.
All right, any questions of the town manager on his report? Hearing none, Why don't we move next to committee appointments, reappointments, and resignations?
my-
Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Maybe it's in, do we have, let me just look at the announcements real quick. Do you have the announcements right in front of you?
Yeah.
Or Can I just hear real quick before we move on? Yeah. Rainey, beach party
Yeah.
on August 30th.
Yeah, you going?
I was just wondering if we had any announcements about it. I also wanted to thank everybody for pulling that together. Our 4th of July committee, our police and fire, that's going to be a big operation, and I know it took a lot of work, and yourselves. I appreciate pulling that together. It's a really nice opportunity for the town.
I hope we approve it.
Are we doing it?
We need to move. We haven't gone to that section to approve it. So
Oh, I was wondering if it was in the announcents. We have an approval, too?
we need to
have to
approve
approve
it.
it.
Oh,
first,
If
yeah.
you say so, Mike.
I just was wondering before he got in through his town manager thing, I didn't hear anything about it, so
Yeah, no,
You
no.
will be.
I missed it.
You missed it. So it's a bit.
We have to
bit
do
tight.
a event permit.
Event permits.
Ah, I
And
see
the
it.
planning
We're
is a
doing
bit
it.
tight, considering
Right.
it's the
Few
August
days, yeah.
25th. But
I
anyway,
was going to say, it's the 30th. It's on.
well, we have to approve it first.
Yes, I know, it just dawned on me.
We good for the next item of the agenda?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
All right,
No.
so we're now on committee appointments, reappointments, and
Yeah.
resignations.
I move that the select board appoint the following residents to the following boards and committees. To the Council on Aging, Susan Hoover, an appointment with the term expiring on 6/30/2028, as well as Penny Hurley, John Burke, as well as Victoria Babcock as an alternate, Fred Doran as an alternate, and Tom Devine as an alternate. And Lynn Devenue is filling an unexpired term, and the appointment will expire on 6/30/2026. To appoint David Murphy to the Cultural Council for an appointment ending 6/30/2028, and to the Duxbury Affordable Housing Trust, Kendall Kip Doble, for an appointment with the term expiring 6/30/2027.
I have a second.
Second.
Any discussion? I don't hear any, so let's take the roll.
Fernando, I.
Brian, aye.
Michael, I.
Yeah.
All right.
The following boards.
Before you go on, sorry, just before you move on to that,
Yeah.
I just want to acknowledge the folks who are being reappointed in particular. Lots of talent here. I know I mentioned this, but it's not, you can never mention it enough, how lucky we are to have great volunteers here in town, and just to know what some of these folks do on a regular basis, and then multiply that across all the committees and all the people. It really does take a village to make this place run and be the place that we know it to be. So thank you to all the volunteers. It's a lot of work, and we really appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah. Nicely said.
Agreed.
The following boards committees have available seats. This is one seat, the Board of Health as an alternate, the Conservation Commission, the Design Review Board, the Duxbury Affordable Housing Trust, the Duxbury Cultural Council, the Fiscal Advisory Committee, the Highway Safety Advisory Committee, and the Nuclear Advisory Committee. And the following committee has 2 seats available. That's the Economic Advisory Committee, and there are 3 seats available on the Alternative Energy Committee, the Municipal Commission on Disabilities, and finally, the Taxation Aid Committee. If anyone is interested in volunteering on a board or committee, you're encouraged to fill out a Talent Bank form, which can be found on the town's website under the Forms and Documents tab.
And if you have any friends or neighbors who you think will be a good volunteer, please ask. Lots of folks get engaged because they're asked to do so. So I would offer that as a way to fill our ranks. All right. Next are the one-day liquor licenses, first being the Helen Bumpus Gallery at the Library and Artist Reception on September 12th.
I move that Mr. David Murphy, as a representative of the Helen Bumpus Gallery, is granted a one-day wine and malt license to hold an artist reception on Friday, September 12th, 2025, from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Helen Bumpus Gallery at the Duxbury Free Library, 77 Alden Street, subject to the conditions of the license.
And I don't see anybody here as an applicant, so may we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I will call the roll.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Terrific. Next is at the Art Complex Museum and Artist Reception on September 21st.
I move that Ms. L. Jarvis, as representative of H. Cole Club LLC, the caterers, and on behalf of the Duxbury Art Complex Museum, is granted a one-day wine and malt license to hold an artist opening reception event on Sunday, September 21st, 2025, from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. at the Art Complex Museum, 189 Alden Street, subject to the conditions of the license.
May I have a second?
Second.
All right, I don't see the applicant. I will note, this is the same caterer who runs the Sunday suppers at the Di Lorenzo Farm that have
right.
been very well attended, and by all accounts that I've heard, very successful and very well run. So I'm happy to see that she's doing more business in town.
All right, cool.
I will call the roll.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Terrific. Next, we have the annual beach party of August 30 event permit.
I move that the Town of Duxbury 4th of July Committee is granted permission to hold the annual beach party at Duxbury Beach in the Town of Duxbury on Saturday, August 30th, 2025, subject to the conditions of the permit.
All right, I don't see an applicant. May I have a second?
Enthusiastic second.
Very good. Any discussion?
Nice work.
Hearing none, let's call the roll.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
All right,
Oh,
the
thank
party's
good-
on.
Thank goodness it passed.
It starts at 4, just so you know.
Starts at 4, all right.
Well, the beach is open at 7
Earlier
a.m.,
than
so
that, yeah.
Come on, come on. Enjoy the beach.
it'll be great.
Next, we have minutes, executive session minutes from August 11th, 2025.
I move to approve the,
Oh, hold on.
We don't have a quorum of the members because Amy's not here.
Yeah, it's
so
gotta hold.
we don't have a
okay,
quorum.
All
that's
right.
true, yeah, you're right.
So we'll skip that one. Anything I need to do with the other 3 sets of
Should be.
minutes?
Open session one's 8/11.
8/11, yeah.
Okay, so I can do the April and July?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I move that Select Board approve the 14th of
April.
April 2025 Select Board open session minutes as presented. Mike, you can't vote.
All right. May I have a second?
Tell
Can
me
you go
what I can
second?
vote for.
He can- Yeah, you can second it.
Second it.
Any discussion, corrections, updates? Are we good as written? All right.
Fernando, aye.
Brian, aye.
Abstain.
All right. I move that Select Board approve the 28th of July 2025 Select Board open session minutes as presented. Cindy, you cannot vote.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any corrections, updates? Nope. Okay.
Yeah,
let's
Fernando,
vote.
aye.
Brian, aye.
Michael, aye.
Do we have announcements?
Yes, we do. That was a nice lead-in, thank you.
This one.
Town Hall offices closed on Monday, September 1st, 2025, Labor Day holiday. Duxbury Beach Party will be on Saturday, August 30th, 2025, starting at 4 p.m. Visit www.duxburycelebrates.com for more detailed information. Notice of possible traffic delays. The Washington Street Sidewalk project is starting on Monday, September 8th through November 15th from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. each day, weather permitting. Then that is good news.
This is a great problem to have. Something that's
Wow, finally.
been waiting generations for this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Finally, I remember it getting passed at the town meeting.
Yep.
All right. And lastly, the next scheduled Select Board meeting will be on Monday, September 8th, 2025, at 6:30 p.m. at the Alden School, 75 Alden Street, room 104, the room that normally holds the school committee meetings.
And I just want to emphasize, even though you just read it, we're going to be in a different location. We're going to be at the Alden School
Yep.
in the school committee meeting room.
Yep.
All right. Would you like to declare a bonus shellfish season?
I would very much like to declare a bonus shellfish season. I move that the Select Board declare a temporary bonus shellfish season for, 1, the commercial harvesting of soft-shell clams for the month of September, regulations as attached. The commercial harvest of quahogs clams for the month of September, regulations as attached.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, I'll call for the vote. Roll call, please.
Fernando, I.
Brian, aye.
Michael, I.
All right. May I have one more motion?
I move that we close the select board meeting.
All right, it sounds like an adjournment
Adjourn.
motion to me.
Adjourn.
May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, I'll call the roll.
Fernando, I.
Brian, aye.
Michael, I.
All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.